Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's good? It's your boy Joby Wan, your favorite rap and black series collector, hip hop Jedi. How's everybody doing today? Just kind of testing out something really, and thought it'd be fun to go live and see how it works. Um, yeah, but I hope everybody's doing good today, man. I do have a second camera set up for the desk, so we can take a look at a few action figures today. So if you guys are into that, that should be fun. And I've also, I mean, I've got, there's a new show on, a new Star Wars show on. I haven't talked about any of the episodes on video yet, which is crazy, because we're 4 episodes in. So if we get a little activity around here, I figure maybe we can get into a little skeleton crew discussion, but we'll see. We will see. But while we're here, like I said, I wanted to go live, test this new kind of dual camera thing out. So I figured while we're doing that, we could take a look at a few Black Series figures. And for anybody who's watching along on replay, I appreciate you, man. Drop yourself a couple of comments down below and show some love because it means a lot. And it goes a long way to helping things out around here. And it is truly appreciated, genuinely appreciated, man. So, but yeah, and we do have some stuff coming up. A little after the first of the year, we'll have some, I'm going to have some videos and stuff going. I've got a podcast series that I really want to kick off too, called Children of the Trials, which will be coming soon. I was hoping, shooting for, January, but maybe closer to February before we get started on that. So, but yeah. Anyways, we'll see if anybody comes by. And in the meantime, we're going to take a look at a couple of action figures. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me see if I can't get this desk cam. All right, that seems to be working okay. I'm gonna have to do some tweaking a little bit with it to get it to where it's ideal. But this was the first figure I brought out. And I know this isn't a lot of people's favorite figure, but I wanted to highlight some of the details. Now, mind you guys, this guy's dusty. He's been on the shelf for a while, so y'all forgive that. See if we can get that to focus. You can kind of see there, but yeah, this version of tech, man, I'm really into, man. They did a great job with a lot of it. Big thing for me is how they did this helmet and the glasses. And, I've had this figure pretty much since drop. I was all in on this look for the Bad Batch. And yeah, and I was just looking at him on the shelf and I was getting ready to set up for a video. And I was like, you know what, man? I think this tech deserves another look on camera. And I think I've done like maybe a small video on the season 3 look. I forgot how testy it is to get this helmet off because of these. It's basically made with a cutout for the glasses. Let me do this off camera. It's like perfectly stuck right underneath his goggles. Oh my goodness. Of course I can't get this helmet off. I mean, I display him with the helmet on because I like the look of having the goggles there. And since it's cut out, it looks kind of funny when if he's like holding the helmet because it just looks like a gap there. But dude, yeah, I cannot get this. I cannot get this helmet off. Come on, guy. It's like stuck on the perfect part of the goggles, which actually makes it look really good. And all right. Well, you know what? Check your helmet staying on. I'm not gonna mess with it too much more. But besides the helmet, it's got some really great colors. A lot of people commented on his pants there, and I personally really enjoy that. It kind of looks like a pair of jeans or something he's wearing. And the articulation is good. You've got your thigh cut, swivel at the knee, no boot, but, you know, plenty of range in the rocker there on the foot. And I'm a little clumsy, so a little bit kind of got beefy hands there, so sometimes it just gets in the way. But like I said, man, I really like how this figure looked, and I wanted to bring it out first. Like I said, when I was walking by the shelf, it was just like, man, look at that guy. So I brought him out, man. But moving on, again, this figure's kind of dusty. But I mean, I took a look at it. I made a video about the set that it comes from. But I haven't really talked about some of the stuff that I really like on it. And I don't have the original version, so anywho, that would be her. So if I can get this to focus. There we go. That's pretty good. I really like the soft goods. And it is tricky to get her to stand, but once I got her in a pretty decent standing pose, she was all right. Goodness gracious. But yeah, and all this dust is why I haven't done my full collection tour. I work a really crazy schedule. So I usually get up between like 3 and 4 in the morning. And because of that, sometimes it makes it hard to get to this stuff. But yeah, I'm really a big fan of this figure. A lot of really cool details. I didn't have the original, and so I know that probably plays a role into why I am a big fan of it. But I will say I do prefer the soft goods cape. I mean, I've seen a bunch of reviews on this thing. I do prefer the soft goods. Uh, it looks better, in my opinion. It hangs really nicely, and it doesn't hinder the articulation in any way. Sometimes molded plastic for capes and stuff and outfits is okay. Sometimes it works better. But in this instance, I'm actually a fan of the soft goods. So if you guys don't have this figure, it does come in a set with the Purge Trooper and um, Inquisitor Cal Kestis. That's right. Sorry, my dog's over here distracted me. Anytime I turn on the camera and start talking on the phone, my puppy she gets excited or something. I don't know. She's like, I want to be on stream. Put me on stream. But shout out to anybody who's watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You probably hear her shaking her collar around. But yeah, big fan of this figure. Happy to add this one to the collection finally. Been in the collection now since the set dropped pretty much. Come on. Come lay down. I know, I know. I'm on the phone. I know. You don't like it. Lay down. Lay down. My dog is jealous right now because I'm paying attention to the phone, not her. Come lay down, puppy. Come on. Come on. Okay, okay. Come lay down. Come lay down. Hey, girl. So, anyways, if you guys don't have this one, it does come in a set. with the Inquisitor Cow and a Purge Trooper, and it looks fantastic. It is from the Fallen Order video game, which I've only played some of, and I've never played the newest one. But yeah, big fan of this figure. If you don't have it, I definitely recommend it. I think it deserves highlighting. But we're gonna move on. And this is one of my favorite drops of the year. I it was in my because I did my top 10 list video, guys, and you may have seen that. And it wasn't in there. And it wasn't in my, what do you call it? Honorable mentions either. And that might have bothered some people. But we're talking about Kiadi Mundi. And I mean, obviously, this is a fantastic figure. The new body that they use for the Jedi is really good. The articulation's great. You know, ball joints at the wrists and everything. The likeness is good. You know, and who doesn't love Kiadi? You know what I mean? Who doesn't love Kiadi Mundi? What's going on? There we go. And I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can probably find this figure somewhere. But it's worth it. And I think it kind of adds to the you know, the prequel era shelves and stuff. Which I'm in the process of kind of reorganizing a lot of that stuff. So, you know, because I want to do my collection tour before the end of the year, but we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. Um, but the great thing, I mean, it's kind of a plain lightsaber. Comes out like so. Can peg it into his belt right here. And it's got a long belt peg. So then you can kind of, you know, behind the back with the hands if you want. I'm kind of being a little rough with this guy. Giatti looking at us all in judgment. But this is one that I definitely recommend. If you don't have it for your collection yet, if you can get your hands on it for retail or near retail, it's a win. And as we're coming to the end of the year, you know, it's one of the better ones that came out this year for sure. Um, like I said, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Professor Mundi here, huh? All right. So moving on, I was finally able to add Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi to my collection. It's been a long time coming. And I'm a fan of it. I think it's a great figure. The updated photo reel looks fantastic. If you don't have Padawan Kenobi on your shelf yet, there's a great 3-pack available through GameStop. Phantom Menace 3-pack that comes with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn. With both of those with updated photo reel, and then Darth Maul with the it's a completely new figure head to toe. Came out first with the Sith Speeder, and then a solo release, and also with this 3-pack. I mean, the articulation on this one is to be expected. It's basically a repack and re-release from the older ones. So if you don't have this one, but you have some of the older ones, like maybe Plo Koon or Mace Windu or something like that, same kind of articulation. Both of his wrists are horizontally hinged, which is it's a choice. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I think the photo reel looks great. Definitely looks like young Ewan McGregor. And this one does have butterfly joints, so his arms can sit down at his side if you want. But yeah, it's a great figure. Easy to pose. Really love the lightsaber. They did a great job on this one. And a lot of people that collect Black Series probably already have this figure. I did not, and I wasn't going to pay crazy aftermarket prices. So luckily for me, I was able to get this Phantom Menace 3 pack, and it was a gift. So, that was a big win. A big win indeed. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Much love to you. And last but not least, of course, is a must have for any Star Wars collector, in my opinion, and that is Master Qui-Gon. Now, they redid the photo reel. To me, it looks better than the anniversary release. Actually, not one that I've had, but I have seen it in hand, and to my personal comparison, I think this one is better, cleaner, same kind of older Jedi body style, pen joints, stuff like that. But I mean, articulation's good enough for what it is. He does have a lot of hair on his head, so it's kind of hard to get a lot of side to side, but still works good enough. But yeah, if you don't have Qui-Gon Jinn, or if you don't have, a Phantom Menace Maul Qui-Gon, or like a combination of those two, or you're missing all three, I recommend that Phantom Menace 3 pack, man. I mean, sometimes we get really good repacks, and that's one of them, in my opinion. They have the Masters of Evil 3 pack that just came out too. It's dropping on Amazon, and it's not necessarily bad. For anybody that doesn't have those figures. But like I have the Grievous, I have the Thrawn, I have the Darth Vader. So for me, other than like for the card backs, which look nice, there's no reason really for me to get it. And since I throw away all my packages anyway, why? You know. But for somebody that doesn't have one or two of those figures, or for somebody who is a mint on card collector, I think it's a great opportunity. It's just a weird. It's a weird multi-pack for me. In my opinion, it's a weird multi-pack. Having the Thrawn that just came out, Darth Vader that's been released a few times, and that Grievous that kind of sat at Walmart's and has been on sale a bunch of time since then. You probably still find the original one somewhere. So it isn't saying that the Masters of Evil 3 pack is just 100% bad. It just means that if you already have those figures, it's kind of a why, you know. Again, unless you're a mint on card, completionist or something, and salute to you guys. I just don't have that. I don't have the patience, and I can't make myself do it. But anyways, hope everybody's doing good. Appreciate you for tuning in. Feel free to drop a comment, show some love if you want. We were just going over a few figures that I've picked up recently that hasn't gotten a highlight, or that maybe wasn't on my top 10, or something like that. Which, if you haven't seen my top 10 video, it is available. It's doing pretty good. Got like 500 views on there. It's crazy. I'm just a small streamer, man, a small channel. Um, and the action figure side of it really is just a hobby. It's fun for me. I'm a hip hop artist. That's my real job, or at least that's what I'd like to think my real job is. That's what I've been doing for the longest, for most of my life. But anyway, so we've taken a look at a few figures. Something I wanted to talk about, guys, was Skeleton Crew, man. As we've got 4 episodes out, and I haven't talked about Skeleton Crew not once. And when Acolyte was going on, Fan Force Alliance, we were doing like a weekly kind of episodic thing, but everybody's been real busy with the holidays. It's just been hard, man. It's been hard to get everybody together. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Skeleton Crew. And first things first, I'm going to say 4 episodes in, like I said on my Facebook post, now this is pod racing. And I mean that. It's been a fun show. It's been refreshing. It's been adventurous. There's mystery there. There's intrigue there. There's character development happening, and so Crew has been an exciting ride for me, man. I've been having a blast with it. Who doesn't love pirates? Who doesn't love, a good coming of age adventure story? And done within the Star Wars universe, I think that is a fantastic vehicle for something like this because of how many things can happen and how many aliens they are and how vast the galaxy is. And for us to be kind of thrown into this adventure, getting to see all this stuff happen, from these children's perspective, has been fun. And the kid actors are killing it, man. I mean, they are kids. They are not. Their acting is really, really well done. But they're clearly kids. They're making kid choices. They're acting like kids would, and those types of moments. And then that just adds. It just adds to it, man, and makes it such that much more of a good show. So I'm curious though to see what everybody that's watching along so far with Skeleton Crew thinks. So if you have any thoughts about the show, definitely feel free to drop it in the comments or the chat if you're watching along. If you're on the replay, comment it to me and I will respond. Um, I think we're gonna find out some real interesting information on Jadna Nawud. I think old Jadna Nawud is I think he's going to be faced with an opportunity to either completely turn on the kids, or to, have their back in some kind of a moral dilemma, once we get towards the end. And, we're going to get to see what kind of metal he really has. And in terms of whether or not he's a Jedi, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think it's possible that he is definitely force adjacent or like one of his parents or something was force sensitive or something like that. So I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I definitely think there's some force related stuff going on there. If you go look on IMDb, it does have somebody listed, Nina Nawood. So obviously we could have some, familial connection there with the same last name and maybe his mom or sister or something was taken when they were young and they both had force abilities and Jedi were more interested in the sister than him or something like that. But yeah, if you go look at IMDb, you can clearly see there is a Nina Nawood listed, Jedi Nina Nawood, uh, in the credits for Skeleton Crew. So I think we're going to definitely see something connected to John Nawood and his connection to Force users and what's going on there. And I mean, I think we got some clues, a little bit of clues in this latest episode. And I don't want to spoil too much because I mean, it literally just came out. So I'm going to try and avoid any spoilers. But I'm definitely intrigued um, by some of his what he did in this latest episode. It was very interesting the choices that he was making, how he was responding to the kids in this one, and it was good, man. If you haven't seen episode 4 yet, I can't recommend it enough. I think we're starting to get a lot of clues about what uh Atten is really all about. And all these other jewels of the Republic and stuff. Uh I think it's all gonna tie into something pretty huge. And it's gonna have some big implications, for the galaxy at large. Now, whether or not it ties into Palpatine and all that, who's to say? But I don't know, man, because it's almost like they've been existing outside of that, as if they've been like insulated from it, like they've been existing going through probably multiple chancellors since before Palpatine, like and before Valorum, and so on and so forth, like going back like from maybe hundreds of years. It's hard to say thousands of years. Like I don't see this being like, oh, the Onyx Cinder is 1,000 years old. There's no way. There's no way. I think it would be way more. beat up than that. You know what I mean? And I don't think that ship would be flyable after 1,000 years. Now, maybe I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think we're talking in like 3 or 4 generations of time. So maybe like, or maybe 100 years, maybe 150 years, 200 years, something like that. You know, I just don't. I don't see how it could be. I don't see it could be much older than that because the quote unquote republic dates back to like after like the high from the High Republic era is a continuation into like the Republic of the prequels. And what we're seeing in the prequels is is the end of the Jedi's downfall at the peak of their hubris kind of thing. So I just don't see the Onyx Cinder and like that ship being that old. So the change that happened, like why Atten is still there, or like what's going on, like I wonder how much of a role that pirate ship crash landing there and now discovering what we know without going into too much detail about SM-33. This is a great episode, guys. Episode 4 was fantastic. 4 episodes in, the way that I'm feeling is if we can get to the end of this thing and it sticks the landing, Skeleton Crew is going to be right up there with Mandalorian for me. It's going to be right up there with Mandalorian, um, which is a great show as well. You know, it's going to be up there with like Mando season 1, season 2. Like maybe not at the same, because Mando brought everybody in, and luckily it had. Luckily, this not might not be a good term, but it had COVID on its side. So everybody got COVID, everybody's on lockdown, all that type of stuff, and Mando's out, and everybody's getting caught up, and all of a sudden everybody's a Mandalorian fan, right? So it's sorry guys, my camera's acting up, but it's right up there. If they could stick the landing on Skeleton Crew, I'm telling you, it is right up there for me with Mandalorian. Um, because it's so adventurous, man. It's a fun show. It is a neat show. The character building is happening as the adventure is taking place, and the pace is right. They're using the volume really well. I'm happy with the show. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Drop me a comment. Let me know down below what you guys think of Skeleton Crew so far, as we're 4 episodes in. I'm trying to keep the this video spoiler free, just because I don't want to. It just came out yesterday. There's a lot of breakdown videos and all the big channels. Star Wars Explained, New Rock Stars, like all these guys have all done their breakdowns. So if you want to watch a breakdown of it, I mean, you go check out all those. But keeping it spoiler free, I have to say, man, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm wondering what head it comes to, like who the supervisor is. The questions about at Atten and these other at planets, the other jewels of the Republic. And we got to see those. We got to hear the names of those planets in this latest episode. You know, man, this one's good, y'all. This one's good. Your boy Joby One is in. Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in on this show. I'm hoping that for Christmas, it'll be after Christmas for us because we kind of had some various struggles going on, man. I've been playing catch up from a lot of problems that have happened over the last year or so. It's been a tough one. It's been a tough several years since my mom passed, but where things are starting to turn the corner, and I'm hoping by the first of the year or so, I'm going to be able to pick up the whole wave of Skeleton Crew figures. I've got a spot I want them to go already. I've got the shelf picked out. I just looked at it. I've got the shelf picked out for him. I know where I want him to go. Neil, let's talk about Neil for a second, y'all. Let's talk about our boy Neil for a second. If you haven't seen this episode, man, you really need to watch it because if you don't love Neil yet, you will by the end of episode 4. That boy, let's just say he's got the riz, man. He's got that I don't know what the kids say, but he's got the good kind of riz. He's got game, man. He Without saying too much. Hey, what's up, Phase 2? Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing all right, my guy, man. I was just looking at some figures and kind of chatting Skeleton Crew, trying to keep it spoiler free, but always good to see Phase 2, man. Love to see you. Oh man, look, I be trying to stay with the lingo. You know what I mean? I might be a little bit of an old head, but I try to stay with the lingo as best I can. But yeah, good to see you, man. But yeah, it's real interesting, man, because on early parts, I don't want to say too much about. I just have a feeling that Neil's species is going to be very important in the story. I think Neil's uh, I think Neil's story is going to be very important to, or Neil's backstory is going to be important to the overall story, or like his species. I think there's something there. Uh, yeah, man. If I keep talking about it, I'm gonna end up going into spoiler land, and I really don't want to go into spoiler land. But man, they really did a good job with this Qui-Gon. But but yeah, guys. Anyways, I didn't want to come on for too long. I just wanted to pop on for a little bit, chat a little bit, check out a few figures I feel like needing highlighting. For all my fellow Black Series collectors, if you got any questions about any of these things, I'm not Mike Case. I'm not out of the basement. I'm not on their level. Those guys are like they know everything about this stuff. I'm a simple dude, but I am a big fan of the line, and I have learned a lot from guys like I just mentioned. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Drop it in a comment if you got any questions about the Black Series line. Also, follow me over on the Facebook and drop me a question in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. I consider myself, a member of this collector community, and it's in me to try and be helpful. Now, yeah, I'm a rapper, but I'm also big into this collecting, man. I got like 350 of these figures now or something like that. That's crazy. But yeah, excited going to 2024. Like I said, we got Children of the Trials. That'll be my new podcast. Be having guests coming on and talking about their stories, how Star Wars has kind of helped uh, keep them going, or maybe get through a really hard time or something like that. Hey, I appreciate that, Phase 2, man. That means so much to me, man. That means a lot to me. Real talk. Um, but Children of the Trials, I'm going to be inviting creators, other artists, musicians, people from all walks of life that happen to be Star Wars fans. And we're going to talk about like the hard things in life and how Star Wars and other things in life help them get through those hard things. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we got more Fan Force Alliance stuff coming soon as well. Always looking out for my homies, the Jedi twins, my good friends, also Jedi Rogar, Ryan Speaks Geek. Can't forget those guys, and Anakin Cressman as well. Those are my guys, those are my fam. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's been a lot of fun. I just wanted to show off some figures and talk a little bit about what's been going on with Skeleton Crew. I agree. Jedi Twins are the best, man. They're so nice. Um, but we're going to go live again here in just a few days, maybe tomorrow, for Black Series Block Party, our official Thursday Black Series Hangout. Where we'll be here, usually in the evening. So, but shout out again to Phase 2 Action Review. Thank you for stopping by and dropping some comments, man. It means so much. And for everybody else that's tuned in, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you're new around here, man. Your boy Joby1 is here for you if you ever need me. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email, hit me up on Facebook, whatever you need. I'm here for you. All right, guys. Much love. May the force be with you. We'll see you next time.